This is Shur on Tefillah. Next week, Pesach Hashem is going to be Tu B'Shvat, where we're going to talk about Tu B'Shvat. It's interesting. Tu B'Shvat means 15th of Shvat. We have a minhag that we're going to make a lot of blessings on our fruit and vegetables, and the minhag is that we make different brachot. Now the question is, what happened exactly on Tu B'Shvat, and what's the significance of Tu B'Shvat? Why is this so important? Now, first of all, we have a Mishnah in Rosh Hashanah that says Rosh Hashanah le'ilanot. In other words, it's a Rosh Hashanah, it's the first of the year for ilanot, for trees, for ilan. Now, what's Rosh Hashanah? It doesn't mean that's the day of judgment of the trees. The day of judgment is Rosh Hashanah, the Aleph of Tishri is Rosh Hashanah for everything. The judgment is at that time. And the fruits on Shavuot, the Mishnah says. But here, Rosh Hashanah for Ilanot means that a lot of halachot we have, that we have to start the cutoff date for trees, to start the beginning. Now, the beginning for the trees would be considered Tu B'Shvat. Tu B'Shvat is the beginning. Let's say for Orla, we have 3 years. When do we start the counting of the years? From Tu B'Shvat. For Terumot, Meisterot, a lot of times we have Yashan and Chadosh. All of these things applies to Tu B'Shvat. Now, why Tu B'Shvat is chosen as Rosh Hashanah for Ilanot? And the Mefarshim say, biologically, the weather gets hot, and during the winter, the trees are, so to speak, they're asleep. They are not functioning. There's no life in the trees. And the HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it, the chesed of Hashem, kindness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that trees are not functioning during the winter. Because during the winter, a lot of storms, a lot of things happens, the cold weather, and a lot of elements comes that if the trees, they want to stand up and to resist against, then they're going to lose, and they're going to lose their existence. They're going to lose themselves. Therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it, as so to speak, you can sleep, not to prevent, not to resist for any elements that is happening, and then after the season is over, they're gonna be starting a new functional life, and that's Tu B'Shvat, 15th of Shvat. Now it's interesting that this element of depends on the heat and how hot the weather is. When it's cold, they are sleeping. When it gets warmer, they get up. Now that heating element depends on the solar system. In other words, we have two ways of calendar works: solar system and lunar system year. Solar system means it has to do with the sun. Now, this phenomenon also has to do with the way that the earth goes around the sun, to figure out when season is that the weather is warmer and the trees could start functioning. Therefore, the date has to be given in the solar system. But we know that our system is not solar. Our calendar is a lunar system mixed up with the solar. Therefore, the date given according to lunar means according to moon going around the earth. That doesn't have any impact on the heat of the weather, whether the trees would be a suitable time for the trees to start functioning. Now, the question is, why do we have the date by lunar system rather than solar system? Because Achamim tell us Rosh Hashanah le'ilanot is Tu B'Shvat, because on Shvat, Bet Din of Israel sanctifies the Chodesh month, that this month is a month of Shvat. With the Bet Din announcement that at Tu B'Shvat, then becomes Shvat and has all of the Shefa and Bracha of Shvat. The role of the Bracha comes from announcement of the Bet Din that this is the Rosh Chodesh of Shvat, and things happens on 15th of Shvat. Comes all of the, it's not the biological things that has to do with the sun. It has to do with Bet Din of Israel. There were Tu B'Shvat is a day to realize how important is the kibud of the Bet Din of Israel, the hashpah of the Kahal Israel, and the Beriah all together. Therefore, on that day, we come and we thankful HaKadosh Baruch Hu for all of the fruits. We get different types of fruit, and we make bracha on it. First, now the question is, making bracha on fruit, we should make at the time that we have trees with the fruit. We see fruit on the trees, we enjoy them, we see them, and that's the time to make bracha on it. No, we are making bracha at the time that the root gets up and the sap goes from the root to the branches. Now, the real time to appreciate and to be grateful for the fruit is when the fruit are on the tree and we see them, we appreciate them. Now, Chacham tell us, why do we make Tu B'Shavat on this time that the sap goes from the root to the trees rather than the time that we see the fruit on the trees? Chacham they want to tell us, on this day, we daven that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give us good fruit. Now, if you want good fruit, you have to work on the root. When you see fruit on the tree, it's too late to daven for it, to pray for it. That should be a good fruit. If a person wants good fruit, he has to work on the root. When the root is working out, then a person has to work out also to work out to work it out, that to have the good fruit. Therefore, if he wants a good fruit, you have to work on the root. Now, it's interesting. There's a machloka between Raza and Yibusha when the world was created, Nisan or Tishri. Arizal said there is no really machloka. The Tishri was in a thought process, and Nisan actually created the creation. Now, if the creation happened actually on Nisan, that means that Adam was created on Nisan actually, and 25th of Adar was the time that the Beriah came about, the creation came about 5 days before. Therefore, now the connection between Kahal Israel, between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and his creatures happens on 25th of Adar. That's the Zivug, becoming a pair of Hashem and his creation. Now, Zohar HaKadosh tells us every pair, every Zivug, 40 days before, there is an announcement to shape it, to prepare it, to make it to happen. The 40 days before 25th of Adar is Tu B'Shavat. Tu B'Shavat is the first motivation of creating a zivug of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and his Beriah. Therefore, this day is very important. The first motivation, the first things are there. And it's the day that the root of the creation and Shaykhut with HaKadosh Baruch Hu came about. There was a day that we should daven and pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's like the apostle says, Adam is a study. Adam is a tree of the field. Just like Adam is a tree of the field, therefore, just like the trees would waken up, here also human beings are waking up on this day. It was very important to work on our root, that our root should shape up well, to be connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to have love and desire for Torah mitzvot. Everything comes from that day. So it's very important. That's why we make different brachot and blessings, and we thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu with the Hodah to Hashem to be shluchei shefa bracha of all of the good things in life.